Waldo Politics is now live streaming. Just chatting, an unpopular president does an illegal war. Sounds like fun. Oh hi KBP. Getting started soon. Toss any links to cool stories into the Discord. Discord. Oh hi Cloud. Elon is a Nazi writer. Grifter.
Oh, hi. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How is everybody tonight? I am doing great. Thank you. It was a nice, not hot day today. I know
BEST Viwares on streamboo.com. Remove the space. At 3
most of the
LPPM NJQ.
world is, most of the country is in a crazy heat wave right now. Not me, though. It was like 60 degrees where I am. Because I'm better than you, and I'm sorry that you had to go through the horrible, intense heat wave. But yeah, and I do look Amish. It's true. I do kind of look like that sometimes. But it's these amazing sideburns. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, they're perfect, aren't they? They're great. I trimmed them. I brought them back a little bit. They were intruding up in here. I'd probably have them all the time, but I really don't like having a mustache. That's my horrible, terrible secret. I don't like having a mustache. It's just not pleasant. It smells funny. It gets food in it, and then I get food all in it, and then I have to clean it. It's a whole thing. I really hate it. But if I go just beard with no mustache, then I look really Amish, right? Or maybe Middle Eastern. I kind of look like an imam or something like that. With the beard on the bottom but no mustache. It's very strange. So I just tend not to do that. I don't like that. Hi. So it seems Kick Chat is alive tonight. Thanks for coming. Thanks for saying hi. I am going to take a look at the news. That's what we're going to do. It is Wednesday. So what I'll do is I've got a handful of links and an entire rant all laid out, ready to go. So I will turn this into what I do is kind of make live YouTube videos. YouTube. There we go.
YouTube.
There's the YouTube link. Go on over there and take a look at YouTube and all the other stuff I've made in the past. I turn all of these little streams into tiny, smaller versions of YouTube videos, and then people can watch them there. So go on over, say hello, or not. Or Snifty Mom, go on over there and call me names or something. It doesn't matter. As long as you're doing anything on YouTube, it helps my algorithm, honestly. YouTube is powered by hate. So if you go over there and hate me, it'll only make me stronger. So I was out for a whole week. I was on.
Haha, welcome back, Bucko and lovely robot lady. Thanks, heavy black heart, smiling face with heart-shaped eyes, sparkling heart.
There you go. So if you're on Twitch, if you're a cool person, you get to go on Twitch, and the lovely robot will read this stuff out for you. Robot. Until it irritates me and distracts me too much, and then I turn it off. I'm letting you know. I'm just warning you. Crash Avahi, if you go too hard on the robot lady, I'll turn her off. So make sure they're good. Make sure you're doing good interruptions that are worthy of it. So I took a week off, and I had some family in town, so I goofed around, and we went around the big city and all that fun stuff. And then let me see, what else did we do? Yeah, and then I took a whole week off of the news. I didn't really pay too much attention. I didn't post any YouTube videos. The last one would have been a bad anyway. And then
okay, daddy, haha, face with tears of joy.
And so
I'm on YouTube and Twitch, so I'm extra cool.
An actual cloud is giving me double numbers. Oh my God. An actual cloud is giving me the stream. He's giving me numbers on Twitch and YouTube. You could be that cool. Are you that cool? An actual cloud is, but are you? I don't know. It could be. You could be that cool too if you'd like. It is a very cool thing to do, because I need the numbers, and I really do just need that to make myself feel better. So yeah, by all means, follow me. Go to the YouTube link. Press the subscribe button. Ring the bell. Break the thumb, and hate on me in the comments. It's all good. Yeah. Karaoke. I have no idea what you're talking about. KVP. I would never. Let's see. So yeah, I didn't watch the news a lot. So let's look at the news and see what I missed. Is there anything that I missed? Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys, we went to war with Iran and then finished a war with Iran, and then Johnny got a peace deal. That sounds unlikely. Let's take a look at the news, see what's going on. Everyone, keep all prices down. I'm watching. You're playing right into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it. Did stupid Joe Biden ever think of just using Twitter to lower the gas prices? I don't think he did. That's why he's stupid. That's why he lost and couldn't run for a second term, because he wasn't smart enough to use Twitter or Truth Social, whatever the fuck it is, the cheap knockoff, to lower the gas prices. And this is why he loses. This is why the Dems lose. They don't do rock solid strategy like telling everyone to keep their oil prices down. But in actual news, let's see what else is going on. So Trump is having a bad time. There was a war. It was a dumb idea. Didn't need to happen. Israel attacked them because Israel's bloodthirsty. Then Donnie jumped in because he couldn't look stupid in front of everybody. So he had to pretend that he knew that the Israeli strike is happening. He didn't, or he would have told us. And then he had to do one of his own, and it would be bigger. And he's going to make his own war with hookers and blackjack. You know, it's got to be bigger and better than anybody else's. So when he goes making it bigger and better, he drops these big old bombs, the bunker busters, onto the Iranian facilities that knew that was coming. They knew it was coming. They're not dumb. They knew it was coming. And then he brags about them being entirely obliterated. But maybe they weren't obliterated. We're not entirely sure. We haven't sent guys in, but we're gonna discuss whether or not they really were obliterated. And nobody's sure, but Donnie's very sure they were. And he's very upset for you not to believe him.
So it's just fake news by CNN, which has got no ratings. It's a failed network. Anybody here from CNN, by the way? Because you're a really disgraceful network. MSNBC, I think, is actually worse. But they're all pretty bad. But yours is good, Katie, I'll tell you.
He's very upset that people could doubt the very true words that he says.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
If the Iranians do rebuild, would the United States...
If they rebuild?
Would the United States strike again? And I have also
Sure.
a question about
But
Russia.
I'm not going to have to wear it.
Sure. I thought we had a peace deal, Donnie. We had a peace deal. He says we have a peace deal, but then he promises to strike him again.
About that. It's gone for years. It's very tough to rebuild because the whole thing has collapsed. In other words, inside, it's all collapsed.
He doesn't know this. This is a delusion that he has created, or somebody has told him, and he has embellished upon it. He has not been there. No one's been there. How would we even get our guys in there? They're the enemy state. Did our Marines sneak in? No? And take a survey, a land survey, some sort of building structural survey? No. They'd have been shot at. So these are assumptions that he's making, and he's making shit up.
Nobody can get in to see it because it's collapsed. You can't go in to see a room that has, 10 million tons of rock in it. And the tunnels are totally collapsed.
But they rebuilt.
Well, they've already looked at the tunnels. This was an unbelievable hit.
No one could ever rebuild a tunnel. No, it's impossible. They'll never do it. And it's a silly question. Why would you think that someone would build a thing?
By genius pilots and genius people in the military, and they're not being given credit for it because we have scum that's in this group, and not all of you are. You have some great reporters, but you have scum. CNN is scum. MSDNC is scum. The New York Times is scum. They're bad people. They're sick. And what they've done is they're trying to make this unbelievable victory into something less. Now, even they admit that it was hit very hard, okay?
Very hard. Okay? No one will ever say he didn't hit it hard. Okay?
But it wasn't hit hard. It was hit brutally.
Brutally. Brutal.
And it knocked it out. The original word that I use, I guess it got us in trouble because it's a strong word. It was obliteration.
It's the biggest word he's ever used. You guys, seriously, we should all be proud of him. It's the biggest word he's ever used. Obliteration. It's 5 syllables. Man, that is a 5-syllable word. He has been taking his big boy brain pills and studying, and he learned a new big word. You should be proud of him. Let's keep listening, though.
And you'll see that. And it's going to come out. Israel is doing a report on it now, I understand. And I was told that they...
And they can't be trusted, Tony. Listen. They can't be trusted in this. Whatever they say to you is going to be slanted towards benefiting themselves.
Said it was total obliteration. They have guys that go in there after the hit.
What guys? What guys? He's imagining guys now. He's imagining the destruction. He's imagining the destroyed tunnels, and he's imagining the guys that are going to go in.
And they say it was total obliteration. And, I don't want it for me. I want it for the pilots. I want it for the military. They did such a good job. If you were in the Situation Room with me, with the generals and all of the people that did such a good job, and then they get demeaned by these idiots at CNN who can't get ratings, the place is dying. Nobody wants to even waste their time going on their shows. So they form with the New York Times, who's dying also. Without Trump, you wouldn't have a New York Times.
You're not proving them wrong. That's the thing. You're arguing badly there, boss. You're not saying that the things that they're saying are incorrect. You're just bitching about them. You're just being mean to them. You're not making a point. Why can't Israel be trusted? They started this war. They're doing a genocide in Gaza. They want the war to continue. They want more of that war. We'll get to that here in just a sec. But yeah, they're the reason America even did the thing that it did in Iran. The reason Donnie did this is because Israel led us there. They're being an unruly child, and we need to corral them, is what I think. Put them back in their place. They don't get to direct how America works. So this is a CNN person asking him another question, and he's very unhappy about it.
All right, Kelly, go ahead. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here's another one.
Here's another one. Somebody's just going to ask him a question instead of kissing his ass and talking about how great he is. They're going to ask for reality and facts and shit. Ugh, gross.
Thank you very
We got them all today.
Okay. So, Mr. President, you talked about expecting some on-the-ground assessments at Fordo and other sites.
Now here,
is that
here
Israeli and you?
Who's going to do it? They're not going to do it themselves. Israel can't be trusted to do that. And they're not going to be able to go into Iran. The Iranians can't be trusted to do that. We can't take their word for what it did fall down and what didn't and where the nuclear material is. Do I support Iran? No. I want them to become a normal country that doesn't support terrorism. Barack Obama's diplomacy plan from the Iran deal that he made out would have done that. But Donnie canceled it because he's dumb. So the legitimate, imagine you were a rogue state that didn't know what the rules were and you didn't know what to do. And so you just act out all willy-nilly. Children need rules. And if you don't give them rules and you just let them act all over the place, do whatever they want, they will act out and they will do things that you don't like. So you have to give them structure. That's what Iran needed. It needed structure. And that is what the Obama plan did. It gave them a roadmap. It gave them rules. It gave them regulations. It gave them guidelines on how to become a proper country. Johnny canceled it without ever having read it. He didn't read it. He didn't know what it was in it. He didn't know what it would do. He didn't know why it was done. It had Obama's name on it, so he killed it. Let's keep listening to her.
U.S.
It's been obliterated, Kelly. It's been
What is your message then, sir, to the intelligence community when they present reports? You're not disputing the DIA report. You're just
They presented a report that wasn't finished. We're talking about something that took place 3 days ago.
I understand that, sir.
The report was done
so
2
what
days
is
ago.
your...
Wait a minute.
Yes.
They didn't see it. All they can do is take a guess. Now, if you take a look at the pictures, if you take a look how it's all blackened, you know the fire and brimstone is all underground because it's granite and it's...
The fire and the brimstone is all underground. He's imagining these things.
All underground. You don't show it. But even there, with all of that being said, the whole area for 75 yards around the hole where it hit is black with fire. The group that's run by this gentleman, in fact, you may want to talk about it for a second because we're going to issue a report. And I think it's not even a very exciting report at this point. It's been obliterated, totally obliterated. And they did a report, but it was like, if you look at the dates, it's just a few days after it happened.
Sir.
So they didn't see it.
But he can know immediately that it was obliterated.
He said it may be very severe.
Understood. Do you have a message for the intelligence community, though, in terms of unvarnished information getting to you, that it's not...
I don't really have a message. I would say issue the report when you know what happened. I wouldn't say that it could be severe or maybe not. They use the...
Don't say things before you know what you're talking about. Is his message. Here we go. Early U.S. intelligence reports suggest U.S. strikes only set back Iran's nuclear program by months. This is not obliteration. But that's the point. That's why everybody's yelling at him. That's why the news reporters are arguing with him. Because he says obliteration, but it seems, when you look at reality, to only be set back by a few months. And they knew this was coming. The point is that he's a bullshitter, and he's bullshitting. And when you try and call him on it, he gets very mad at you and he calls you names. Let's watch his lie secretary tell us some lies.
Our Joint Chiefs and our General Kane, who was incredibly successful in this mission on Saturday night, it was also disputed by both Israel and Iran. And CNN didn't care about that. The DIA themselves have now come out and said this was a preliminary report, and this CNN story got it completely wrong. But that reporter is a sheep, and she's a mouse.
That reporter is a sheep. She's a sheep, folks. Folks, listen to me. That reporter, she was one of the useless eaters. She was a sheep. She was part of the lamestream media. She knew exactly. She's been taking the George Soros money. She worked for George Soros. She reported on him favorably. She's a sheep.
Mouthpiece for people who don't like Donald Trump, and she only gave the White House an hour to respond. And that's, again, the same playbook we've seen the fake news media play time and time again. But this story has now been debunked widely by not just the United States, but also Iran and Israel as well.
You can't trust either of those people. You can't trust either of them. They're in the war. We'd have inspectors there if there had been the original plan that Obama put in place. Absolutely right. We would have people there. I think I've got the details of the plan. Do I have the details of that plan? I had them on a link, but I don't remember. Here we go. Here's the nuclear agreement that Obama and our allies negotiated with Iran. Iran agreed to give up 98% of their enriched uranium and their centrifuges. They did that. We took it from them peacefully, politely. They gave it to us. because they wanted to be an actual country. Iran couldn't build a new reactor for 25 years. That gives their Ayatollah time to die of old age. He might be a religious leader, but he's not going to beat the 100-year mark, you know? He's going to die. And someone new, someone more moderate, someone more modern will come in. And maybe he can try. Maybe not. Iran agreed never to develop a nuclear weapon. We had them on paper saying this. They signed the damn thing. Donnie threw this away. Iran agreed to allow 24/7 access to nuclear inspectors to confirm their compliance. Donnie threw that away. Although the Iran complied, Trump killed the agreement in 2018, thus enabling Iran to develop nuclear weapons again. And that's why Iran is on the verge of developing a nuclear weapon today. Because Johnny threw it out. Why did he throw out all that good stuff? Because it had Obama's name on the top of the sheet. So he had to throw it out. Do you have any actual arguments, or you just insult everyone? I haven't begun insulting you yet. This is what Donnie threw away. He threw this away. This is the plan that existed. This is the plan that they were keeping to. And he threw it away because it had Obama's name on it. He didn't know any of these things. These are things that he would brag about. Imagine that if he had taken their enriched uranium away. I went to Iran. I made a deal. They agreed to give up 98% of their enriched uranium and their centrifuges. They agreed not to build a new reactor for 25 years. He would brag about it for the rest of his life. He would brag about a deal this good. But he threw it away. Not to make your life better, not to make their lives better, not to make the country better, but because of pure spite. He hates you, and he hates everybody in the country. He hates everything that doesn't have his name on it. Okay, but Iran publicly stated in the last few days that they will rebuild their nuclear program, so they did not stick to Obama's agreement. Boss, Donnie threw this agreement away in 2018. They were on board for this plan until we elected a moron. Honestly. Yes, a couple of days ago, they said they would rebuild, and they're saying that today that they'll rebuild. Because we took away the structure. We took away the growth plan. We took away the pathway toward the future for them. We had a solid plan on how to make them a modern first world country. And Johnny threw it away out of spite because he hated the previous president. The most important part is the 24/7 access. Now we can't confirm anything. Exactly. If those people are coming in 24/7 to do the access, they would get used to being there. We would have inroads. We would have diplomacy. We would have people there on a regular basis to check these things. And then you could sneak spies in. God, GA, listen, if we didn't trust them, we could sneak spies in with those 24/7 inspectors. Go ahead. All you have is insults, no actual arguments rooted in reality. My man. You don't know what reality is. I'm giving you reality, and you don't like the taste of it. Tastes like shit. Bullshit is delicious, but reality tastes like shit. And this is the reality. Tastes like shit. We elected a goober who doesn't know what he's doing and threw away solid diplomacy that was good for us because he's spiteful. Let's see, what else do we have to look at? There was one other one over here I wanted to look at. Yeah, Trump to limit intel sharing with Congress after Iran damage report leaks. So, because he doesn't like the reality, he's going to try to limit the amount of reality that shows up at Congress. President Donald Trump will reportedly limit intelligence sharing with Congress after a top-secret report leaked indicating that the U.S. strike on Iran set back the country's nuclear program only months. Wasn't obliterated, was it? Axios reported that the Trump administration would share less intelligence through the CapNet system after CNN and the New York Times published details of a Defense Intelligence Agency assessment on Iran. The report contradicted Trump's claim that Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities had been obliterated. We are declaring war on leakers. Well, this is the senior White House official. We're declaring war on leakers. The FBI is investigating the leak. I'm sure they'll find it with the crack team of people that Donnie put in charge of the FBI. Fucking podcaster that runs the FBI now. In a statement on Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt blamed the leak on a low-level loser. Does she know who it is, or is she just guessing? I think that she's just guessing. Let's see. The intelligence report suggested that Iran's nuclear program had been set back only a few months after the U.S. strikes was not. There's someone at my door. I'll be back. Don't go nowhere. Tell your friends. There was somebody at the door, and it's terrible news. I have terrible news, everyone. KBP is here. He's here in the real, and I'm gonna like make him edit my videos or something. I'm not living in reality. You think that there's a plan to help the IRGC help them build their country? Trump broke an agreement and. Yeah, exactly. Sewells has it right. Why would they pay attention to the thing that he broke? Why would they be on that agreement? And they kept it after a couple of years because they thought maybe we would come back to our senses. We didn't. I'm not even around. I had a plan for that. You think that we had a plan for the IRGC to help them build their country? Yes, GA, that's what we were doing. The UN has an adults table with countries who all have nuclear weapons. And then they have a kids table. It's for all the countries that don't. So if you want to go from the kids table to the adults table, you need a sponsor country who's going to help you get weapons and get nuclear stuff like we did with Israel, or you need to get them secretly. I think the Japanese got theirs secretly as well. They worked it out themselves, and now they're more important. I could be wrong about that. I don't know exactly, but I think that's how it went down. They clandestinely created their own nuclear weapons. Trump is trying to sell the solution to the problem he created. Typical con salesman. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Then let's see. What else did I have to look at? So yeah, KBP just stopped by. Everybody say hi to KBP. Let's see. So we got that. That's closed. That's done. Let's keep reading. The report issued by the Defense Intelligence Agency on Monday contradicts statements from Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about the status of Iran's nuclear facilities. According to the People, the report found that while the Sunday strikes at the Fordo, Nance, and Isfahan nuclear sites did significant damage, the facilities were not totally destroyed. The People were not authorized to address the matter publicly and spoke on the condition of anonymity. Because that's the way it always works with Trump's leaks, right? The people don't want to lose their jobs or go to jail for telling you the reality that he is ignoring. Because that's generally what happens. He ignores reality and tells you what he wants to be true. What else we got? So yeah, that was the stuff. Here's the history. If we want to look at the history, I might leave that up for now. And then I'm going to close some of these tabs and then rant about a thing. Because not only is he mad about this, he's very mad, but Maytag is having complicated feelings. I don't know what to make of this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, an idiot, an actual moron. Let me put on my Karen voice. I spent millions of my own money and traveled the entire country campaigning for President Trump and his MAGA agenda and his promises. And Trump's MAGA agenda included these key promises. No more foreign wars. No more regime change. World peace. And this is what the people voted for. Only 6 months in and we're back to foreign wars, regime change, and World War III. It feels like a complete bait and switch to please the neocons, warmongers, military-industrial complex contracts, and neocon TV personalities that MAGA hates and who were never Trumpers. After the bombs were dropped, they were told complete success and Iran's nuclear capabilities were totally wiped out. Then it quickly turned into Iran's nuclear facilities partially damaged, and now it's we don't know where their enriched uranium is. She's having a day, okay, you guys. She is a member of a cult, and then the cult leader, Donnie, told her a thing that is so blatantly untrue that not even she can follow it. She's seeing some sunlight, and she doesn't know what to do. She hates it. She doesn't like it. I think she goes on to say that he's not a king. She's going to be out there marching with the rest of us soon, saying no kings. Marjorie Taylor Greene warns of spies inside MAGA world. Oh no, spies inside MAGA world. Once one of Donald Trump's most loyal elected officials, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or Maytag, as I like to call her, proudly declaring Trump is not a king. Trump is not a king. Greene on Wednesday took to X to make the proclamation, after which she clarified, he is our elected president and I support him, even when I occasionally disagree with him. I'm an American, and having my own opinion and the freedom to speak is the most American way. A MAGA is not a cult. Yeah, it is. Maytag, honey, it is a cult. It's a populist political movement. No, it's not populist political. It's not. Filled with a wide range of diversity of Americans that desperately want the government to prioritize the American people. They're not a wide range of diverse. There's not a wide range of diverse Maytag. Sorry, hon. It's just not true. Our country and our problems. If MAGA can't hold it together on an occasional disagreement, then MAGA will lose its power. She's telling people not to abandon Trump, even though he abandoned them. You know, he did a thing that he promised to not do. And she says, stay faithful. It's a very conservative attitude for a conservative woman to have. Even when he's unfaithful, you have to stick it out. You know, you have to stay around, even if he cheats. It's a very common thing for conservative women. She didn't do that. God, no. She's cheated on all her spouses. But like she says that she would stick it out in front of a television camera. When she goes to church, that's what she tells everybody. And that's what matters, really, is what you tell people when you go to church. That's what matters. So she's having a thing. She's having an issue. What is this? Okay. So this is the what's the next step? So that's what happened. What's going to happen next? This person, in a very typical liberal way, suggests that that's exactly what Donald Trump wants, is a bigger war. Off the leash analysts suggest that attack in U.S. may be exactly what Trump wants. Dun, dun, dun. The courts may let President Donald Trump off the leash if a terrorist attack occurs in the aftermath of the United States bombing Iran. While polls before the strike showed Americans, even members of the GOP, were opposed to taking action in the Israel-Iran conflict. Digby Parton believes MAGA world is already falling in line. And she suggested that an awful retaliatory attack inside the U.S. could be exactly what Trump is aiming for. Trump believes that his people will follow him anywhere, and history shows he's probably right. I suspect that one of the ways he will keep them on side is by bringing the war home. He's assumed dictatorial powers in a myriad of ways, putting troops on the streets of Los Angeles and disregarding court orders. So we are already on the road to full autocracy, only awaiting the final verdicts of the courts and Trump's decision as to where he will abide by them. But his executive overreach and abuse of power so far are nothing to what he can do as president at war. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Do I think he is going to make the most out of this? Sure. He's going to say that we need to deport more people. He's going to say that they need to pass the big, beautiful bill to protect you from Iran somehow. He's going to tell you that he needs to cancel the habeas corpus rights of anybody with a dark shade of skin to protect you from Iran. He's going to do those things, but he's always going to do those things. Does he actually want a forever war? I think he doesn't. I don't like the guy, and I've never been on his side about anything. And I think he's a super duper liar about damn near everything. But I don't think he wants a forever war. He does not want a long, drawn-out military campaign. Usually, that is the Republican stance. They loved the Afghanistan war. Don't let them lie to you today. They loved it when it was happening. They loved the Iraq war when it was happening. Now that it's fallen out of favor of the Americans, they pretend they didn't have a great time with it, but they loved it. And Bibi Netanyahu certainly wants forever war. That keeps him in power. If he's been in charge of Israel for 25, 30 years or some damn thing, but his poll numbers are dipping. So he needs the bloodthirsty excitement of a war against that country, Palestine, or against Iran. But they've already beaten Palestine. There's nothing left to blow up over there. So they need to expand it to Libya. And didn't they bomb somebody else not too long ago? I think they did. So he wants the war. Not Donnie, though. He has a black and white brain. He hates shades of gray. Long, drawn-out processes, even if they are safer and cheaper, are worse for him. He wants a headline that he can point to and lie about forever. Iranian nuclear obliterated in a single night. That's good headlines. It's not true, and he'll lie to you for the rest of his life about it being true. But that's a good headline that he can point to forever. Trump drops bomb on Iran. World peace achieved immediately. That's a headline he can get behind. It's short, it's pithy, it's wrong, but that's where his popularity thrives. Simplicity is his most powerful weapon. Like asking if you're for Iran or against it. It's a far more complicated question than what Trump and his fans make it out to be. Simplicity is their most powerful weapon. Bragging about a ceasefire that neither side has agreed on Truth Social for the rest of his life is easy. And his most loyal believers will come into my chat and tell me he did the thing that no one else could. He brokered peace between Iran and Israel. In reality, it lasted about 10 minutes, but it doesn't matter. Even if it lasts a few days, he will brag about it for eternity. Even if it holds for 10 minutes, he will get to blame whichever side is best for his current mood. I made a brilliant peace deal. Good for everyone. It was but it was broken by Sleepy Joe and his support of Hezbollah illegally moving immigrants into America. It won't matter what the reasoning is. He will brag about a peace deal that never was. And his MAGA faithful will believe his words over their own lying eyes. He wants one beautiful bill in the Senate. Nice and simple. He doesn't want a dozen small continuing resolutions, each of which have to be debated and weighed and measured and then voted upon one at a time. That's complex. He doesn't do complex. He told us that the Ukrainian war would never have happened if he was the president. Nice and simple. When asked by reporters what he would have done differently than President Biden, he never answered. He just kept repeating the nice and simple line, never would have happened, wouldn't have happened. They respected me and they wouldn't have gone to war. When they asked him what he would do to stop it, he says, make a deal. Nice and simple. Where would the borders be? The reporters would ask. Will Russia be allowed to keep the land they took? Make a deal. What about the people in the Donbass who feel like they're part of Russia rather than Ukraine? Make a deal. What would the deal even look like? Would it include a diplomatic discussion about the Crimean Peninsula, which they took several years ago? It would be a good deal, best for both sides. Everyone would love it. So simple, make a deal. He doesn't do complex. He doesn't actually know what he's doing. He just spits out the words. He told us Biden cheated with millions of illegal votes in 2020, and that's why he didn't win. Nice and simple. The actual reason is that more people were watching Donnie fumble the COVID response, and then the public was paying attention, so they actually voted rather than sitting out and doing other things. But that is a complex answer, and it's too difficult for him to turn into a short, pithy, wrong talking point. So he doesn't talk about it, just says they cheated. He told millions of illegals. He told us that millions of illegals would be gone, and it would be easy and fast. The illegals have got to go. Millions of them, millions and millions of them. They're all criminals. They all have to go. It'll be easy. It'll be fast, and the country will be saved. Nice and simple. But what's actually happening? They're sending innocent people to third country prisons with no judicial oversight. ignoring their rights, ignoring the law, skipping the judges, skipping the courts. They're removing people who are here working for a living, and the courts keep telling him he has to give them the due process. But that due process is a complex, time-consuming endeavor. And Johnny hates complex, time-consuming endeavors. He wants to make a decree and then receive applause as reality itself twists and contorts to conform to his words. He thinks he is a god. Anytime CNN slightly pushes back, like they did for the Iranian nuclear obliteration headline, he goes on the attack. He's mad that someone is pointing out the factual errors in his imaginary fan fiction that he's written himself. And if you dare try to fact check his fan fiction, you become the enemy. He turns the short, pithy, wrong cannon at you. You are part of the nasty mainstream media, the failing New York Times, the crooked CNN. Nobody watches it. I don't know why you would. They're failing. They're falling apart. You get a nickname like Shifty Adam Schiff or Crooked Hillary or Gavin Newscum. Nice and simple. Explaining why these people are wrong is complex, and he literally can't do it. So he keeps it simple. He cannot hold complex thoughts in his mind. His tiny bird brain cannot fathom shades of gray. We live in a large, complicated world, and he is incapable of running it properly. We can only survive this for so long. Well, that was my rant. I'm glad nobody interrupted me. Everybody on Twitch chat just did a really good job, bro. But I'm going to turn that into a YouTube video. And then, so what I'll do is I'll cut out all the awkward pauses and the places where I goofed up. And I won't apologize for that. You edit the things. I might make KBP edit it for me. And then I would have more time for more streams, you see. Makes more sense, doesn't it? And then we'll put it up on the YouTube. You can go on over to the YouTube and watch it. And if you missed it, or you can share it with your friends, tell them to watch the thing. It's a good time. And then you can press the subscribe button. I'm at 290 something subscribers. So I'm getting close. At 1,000, they might start paying you. It's far off, I know, but maybe. So yeah, go on over there and do that. So that was all about around. If you want to talk about it, go on over to the Discord. GA, you seem very talkative. Go on over to the Discord. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you're feeling. You can go to that Discord right there, and you can tell us what's going on. You can debate with people in there. It's intended to be debated upon. There are people in there who want to talk to you. So what else? And you can leave links to things. If you think that I'm super wrong about a thing, leave a link to a thing, and then I'll look at it. And I can tell you whether or not I agree with you. What else is going on in the world? Why does nobody want to answer the question about ICBMs? Okay, I was ranting, but I will check the ICBMs. You consider creating ICBMs adhering to the deal. If they're not nuclear, then it is conforming to the deal. Unless the deal said don't create ICBMs, then they're still inside. It also said don't touch your penis on Tuesdays. It didn't say that. So if they did, would they be on the deal? Well, it wasn't discussed. If ICBMs were in the deal and they were going against it, then they're going against the deal. If it wasn't in the deal, then they're free to do what they want. We gave them structure. We gave them a list of rules. We gave them a list of things that they could and could not do. And if that wasn't mentioned, then it's not mentioned. If you never tell your kid not to eat an entire bowl of whipped cream for dinner, then they might. I mean, did they break any rules? Well, you never told them not to eat an entire bowl of whipped cream for dinner. So, I don't know. How fun did you get my links? I sent them. Not if you're putting them into regular chat. The links are not allowed in regular chat because people keep linking bad things.
Touchdown.
Malcidian thought that was a touchdown. Thanks. But if you're in, that's where the links should go, is to the Discord. That way I can look at them before I put them on the screen. So do you know what ICBMs are for? They're intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's what the acronym is for. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. And if they don't have a nuclear warhead on them, they're not nuclear ICBMs. You can do what you want with those. If that wasn't in the Obama deal and you think that that's some sort of oversight, by all means, suggest that that's an oversight. But if it was not in the deal and they were doing it, then they're still conforming to the deal. Let's talk about ICE. Yeah, they suck, right? Here's some pro-life ICE information for you. Pregnant fiancé of an American lost her baby in ICE detention after they detained her prenatal care. After they denied her prenatal care after pleading for help for days. Hooray! I love it when the Gestapo kills babies. ICE arrested a pregnant Tennessee woman while in detention in Louisiana. She had a stillbirth. Yeah, it's pretty crappy. The mother, who was 5 months pregnant, who just found out that she and her American citizen fiancé were having a boy, lost her baby after federal agents in a detention center repeatedly denied her pleas for prenatal care. Lived and worked in Tennessee for years, detained by ICE for over a month, forced to sleep on a prison cell floor, served food with cockroaches, said she was starving and had stomach pains. Guards told her it was normal. It is normal to have stomach pains while you're sleeping on the floor and eating garbage food. She begged to be deported so that at least she could get prenatal care in Guatemala. ICE refused. She delivered a stillborn baby in front of 2 guards who shackled her feet. Then, for 2 days, she wasn't allowed to call her fiancé or talk to anyone. She cried alone and was deported to Guatemala shortly after the stillbirth. They just want to hurt people. They just want to hurt people. ICE is not good for you. They're not good for us. Abolish ICE. They are bad. They are doing bad things that are unnecessary because they hate. This is the same story. I think this is the same story. ICE is holding a record of 59,000 immigrant detainees, nearly half with no criminal record. But Donnie told me there were millions and they were all criminals. But half was 25 plus 4, so about almost 30,000 of them have no criminal record.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible, and they're not doing it to help you. They're doing it because they hate. They're not doing it to make your life better. You won't get a better life out of this. No one will benefit from ICE. No one anywhere ever will benefit from them.
The United States of America, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. There will be no benefits. This will not help you get a job. This will not help you pay off your credit card debt. This will not help you pay off your student loan. This will not lower prices. This won't lower the price of gas. This won't get terrorists out of the country. This won't lower crime. This will do nothing but hurt the people that they don't like. There's no reason for it. There's no sense to it. It's just blind, senseless hatred. And most of the Republicans are on board for it.
The body rots from the head.
Mm-hmm. Federal statistics show nearly half, or 47%, of those currently detained by ICE lack a criminal record, and fewer than 30% have been convicted of crimes, a sign of a widening scope of President Trump's escalating crackdown on illegal immigration. And on the campaign trail, Mr. Trump vowed to expel dangerous criminal migrants, though top officials in his administration have said no one in the U.S. illegally will be immune from deportation. Hate what? What? You did? The brown people, GA. Anybody who isn't a pasty white American like me. They hate anybody that isn't entirely white like I am. Even if they're born here. Even if they were born in this country and they still happen to have brown skin, they hate them. ICE hates them and wants them to leave. Stephen Miller is a Nazi who wants an ethno-state of white people. That is all that he wants in this country. And let's see, I think I had something from him. Here we go. Here they are just attacking people. Hooray! Attacking innocent people. Masked. Nobody knows who they are. Not showing their badges. Kidnapping people from the street. Harming innocent people. You can see the weed eater there. Guy was trying to do work. I think, is this the one with the guy who just points a gun at the car? One of these guys was just pointing a gun at random cars. You know, like you do on a normal day. You know why he's fighting, guys? Because he knows he's not going to see a judge. If I were arrested by the regular cops, I wouldn't fight them because I would understand that there's a system in place to keep me from being thrown out of the country or thrown into a jail without a fair trial. He's not going to get that. He's not going to get a fair trial. He's not going to get a chance to explain why he's here. He's not going to get any of the things.
We just watched a kidnapping.
Yeah, you guys, you just saw a kidnapping. Hope that was fun. Hope you guys had a good time watching people paid by your tax dollars kidnap innocent people. Because that's what we're doing now. Because they hate him. They hate the brown people. They're scared. They're only deporting the illegal brown people. No, they're deporting American citizens too. You would think that they would just deport them all. No, that's harmful. That's severely harmful to them, to you, to me. We will all suffer for this. I had one that I forgot to, that I think I clicked off of. They're deporting American citizens. And they're not just deporting them. Honestly, if that guy was just getting deported, I wouldn't be as upset. But they're locking them in the CSOT prison for unknown amounts of time. Nobody knows how long they're there. Is this guy that just got kidnapped on the way to prison? He doesn't know. Maybe they just drop him in Guatemala, even though he's from El Salvador. They don't know the difference. They're stupid. But if he thought he was on his way to a forever jail while committing no crimes, you're damn right he's going to fight back. And he's going to run. And he's going to dodge you. This is not helpful to you, to me, to anyone in the country. This is about the feelings of conservative people. The conservative people don't like those brown people. So they feel better when they're being dragged away. That's all there is to it. The data suggests, the logic, the facts suggest that they are good for our country. Immigration is good for our country. Legal or illegal, all of it is good for our country. And the data backs that up. But they don't care. They have feelings, you see. They have feelings about dirty, scary immigrants. They're eating the cats and the dogs, I hear, even though the evidence suggests that they're not. They need to blame somebody for the things that are going wrong. And that's what it is. Rich people tell Fox News to blame the poor brown people, and Fox News blames the poor brown people, and then conservatives love it. They feel so good about that. Doesn't matter what the numbers are. Doesn't matter what the facts are. It makes them feel good. So they repeat it. Then the Democrats, Joe Biden and Barack Obama included, also feel that the people are feeling about the immigrants, so they deport too. They're wrong. They're shitty about it. And I don't like it when they do it either. Joe Biden deported lots of people, and I'm unhappy about that. Majority supports mass deportation, and the majority is wrong. But I don't think people understand what mass deportation looks like. It's real ugly. And the majority of people are wrong. The majority of people in the world are religious. They're also wrong. The majority of people are usually wrong. We have to look at the facts. We have to look at the actual things that are happening. We have to recognize how this country was built by immigrants from other countries, usually for very little money. Our entire country was built by the slaves for very little money. They were immigrants. Then it was built by the Chinese immigrants for very little money. Now it's being maintained and built by South American immigrants for very little money. Our entire world, not the entire world, our entire country is built on cheap labor. And if they make that impossible because of their very ugly mass deportation, then we will all suffer. Stephen Miller will feel better. He'll feel better. And he'll walk around the town and he won't see a taco truck. And that'll make him feel better. High IQ people are a minority. Yes, they are. It's true, Bingus Lover. That is correct. So what we have to do is tell people. What we need is a media apparatus that doesn't just buy whatever the right wing is selling, because we don't have left wing media in the country. Yes, legal immigrants law. They're listen, they're kicking out the legal immigrants too. They're eating the cats and the dogs. That's what Donald Trump said. Those were legal people not eating cats, not eating dogs, and they are being deported too, because he canceled their legal status because he hates them. They don't look like me. They don't look Aryan. They don't have white skin and blue eyes and blonde hair, so they have to go. He doesn't care if they're legal or not. He doesn't care if they're citizens. He doesn't care if they have children who are American citizens. He will deport them all to make you feel better. All politics are based on feelings. All of them. Left, right, center. Mine and yours. My politics are based on the feeling that humans should have freedom. I feel like humans should be free. There's no mathematical equation that proves humans should be free. There's no scientific axiom. There's no freedom particle on the periodic table. I feel like humans should be free. To be fair, anyone who eats cats or dogs should be deported regardless of citizenship. I would agree with you, Bingus Lover. I'm kind of on board. I think that should be a crime. Good thing it never happened. I'm glad it didn't happen. The people who looked into it said it wasn't happening. But Donnie lied to us. Told this guy that they were doing it, and he believed him because he wants to believe Donnie. The conservatives want to believe what he's saying because it makes them feel good. Why do they believe it otherwise? The facts exist on the internet. You can go online and find lots and lots and lots of facts. Conservatives don't, because those facts taste like shit. Reality tastes like shit. Bullshit is delicious. It tastes so good. Oh, they're eating the cats and the dogs. Nom, 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 nom. He's going to kick out 50 million, 60 million, 70 million illegal people. Nom, 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 nom. It tastes so good. But when you actually get to look at the ugly reality, people back away. Reality tastes like shit. So that argument falls apart. If the people you say want cheap labor, why would do not want them deported? Right. Right-wing ideology is incoherent, GA. Right-wing ideology doesn't work. It doesn't function. It can't. It is incoherent. Right-wing ideology falls apart because they want things but don't know how to get them. They lie constantly about reality. And then reality bites them in the ass. They promise to remove 50 million illegal people. They get rid of 5,000, and then they hit a roadblock. The courts stop them because it's illegal. And then they don't have anybody to do the labor anymore, and so they stop. And then they lie to you about how good a job they did. Johnny wants a 1-minute war. He wants to drop a couple of bombs and then have world peace. And he's going to lie to you about that. He's going to claim that he created world peace. Years from now, he will still be claiming that he created world peace as Israel continues bombing 7 other countries. And when we say, hey, you made world peace, but Israel's bombing all these other countries, all those other countries are bombing them. What about this? He's like, yeah, well, it was world peace while I was there. They just didn't follow my instructions because he's a liar. I'm here spitting facts, yay. They're incoherent. You accidentally pointed out their incoherence. You accidentally stumbled upon it, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene accidentally stumbled upon the incoherence a few minutes ago. A few minutes ago, she was complaining about Donnie starting another war, but he's her most favorite. They are incoherent, and they can't keep their shit together for very long. Gladly. I'm glad they can't. If we're lucky, they won't keep it together for much longer, actually. So let's see. What else do we have to talk about tonight? What are we talking about? That caused that. We did that. Again, on this same topic, it's going to be easier to deport them. The court has just decided that we'll be able to send people to horrific situations with no due process. So the courts are kind of backing him up on this because they also hold that incoherent right-wing ideology. This greenlights sending people to be enslaved in Libya or tortured in any other random foreign country. Over a sharp public dissent from the three Democratic appointees, the SCOTUS clears the way for Trump administration to remove migrants to third countries without giving them the additional opportunity to contest whether they face persecution in the other country or other forms of mistreatment there. So this skips another step. This isn't the worst possible outcome. This is only, it's still skipping steps. And I don't like the idea that we're skipping steps when it comes to deporting people. So it's not locking them in gulags. This doesn't give him authority to lock people in gulags. It allows him to ship people to other countries where they may die. Used to be, if you were being deported to a violent country, you could say to a judge, that's a violent country. I ran away. I wouldn't do the crime when they told me to. They'll kill me if I ever come back. And the judge would look into it and try to determine if that's a true statement. And then if it was a true statement, they'd let you stay. And they'd give you some sort of pathway towards citizenship. That makes sense. Not anymore. They hate. They don't care if these people die. Stephen Miller does not care if these people die. He wants them out because he promised to get them out. And I know it's been a lot of doom and gloom tonight, but there is some good news. Bum, bum, bum. Zoran Mamdani. I can't say his name, Mamdani. I say Dami Mommy every time I try and say his name, and it's not going well. It doesn't look good on me, honestly. It's not my jam, but the joke is that Dami Mommies. Zoran Mamdani has won, apparently, the primary to become the New York mayor. Now, this is great news because he's pretty cool. He's very good at being a politician. He is very charismatic when he's in front of a camera, unlike me. So I appreciate that. And when he is, and if he wins, he's a young left-leaning person in a very important job. It's always nice. I'll admit when this is the content you consume, it is difficult to sort reality from delusion. My man, I'm giving you truth and you've never tasted it before. It is a weird, disturbing flavor in your mouth. Because I am giving you actual reality. You've never tasted it before. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird for you. So, we like Zoran Mamdani. I've never said his name out loud. I've been reading it for the past couple of days. He's a young Democrat. He's barely a Democrat. He's a young leftist. He's a young progressive. And the people on the left are not happy about it. The old-fashioned people like Cuomo aren't happy about it. They don't like the idea of young people coming in and getting these things. He won. Mamdani won because of the youth vote. Dems could win way more elections if they allowed new, exciting people to come in. But they don't want that. Ugh, gross. No. The DNC their previously approved process to becoming an important Democrat was as follows. Step 1, join the party and do a ton of political work for free. Step 2, raise money for the Democratic Party for about 60 years. Step 3, if you raised enough money over those 60 years and you kissed AIPAC's ass and you didn't move to the left, you are now allowed to run as a Democrat. And then you'll get the endorsements from all the other important people like Bill Clinton, like Andrew Cuomo, like Jim Clyburn, as well as access to all the money. Now, that system is not exciting to the young people on the left, the young left-leaning people. But the votes of those young left-leaning people are mandatory for the Dems to win. That's why the Dems lose so often to illiterate racists. They talk left, but walk nowhere. Even if they talked left and walked centrist, I might be slightly less upset with them. But they tend to go nowhere and do no things. The voting public have noticed that they only have two options: do-nothing Democrats or hateful Republicans. Those are the options that we often face. So they stay at home. They don't vote. They claim that both sides are the same. Nonsense. But when the public sees people like Mamdani, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, and Bernie, they see left-leaning candidates saying and doing things they like. The public shows up. They show up. 40,000 volunteers. There are people in the race who aren't going to get 40,000 votes. When the public sees an actual human being running to make their lives better, they respond positively. The Democratic establishment did not know this. They are unaware of the very simplest of political realities. This is shocking news to the geriatric suits filled with corporate money, like Cuomo and Chuck Schumer. They don't actually care about you or your concerns or what you want the government to do. They are there to make money for their donors, so their donors will give the money back to them so that they can stay in power. In response to this shocking win, Chuck Schumer has spoken directly to the imaginary people that live within his head. I don't know if you ever read this, but Chuck Schumer has imaginary people in his head, and he confers with them. Schumer says that he's accompanied everywhere he goes by two imaginary middle-class friends who advise him on all manner of middle-class concerns. Their names until recently were Joe and Eileen Riley. For the book's sake, he wanted them to be more national, so they became the Baileys. The Baileys live in Massapequa. That's New York, I'm quite sure. In Nassau County, a town that is invariably known on Long Island as Matzo Pizza. The Baileys are both 45 years old. Joe works for an insurance company. Eileen is a part-time employee at a doctor's office. So, Chuck Schumer, the head of one of the most important people in the Democratic Party, talks to the imaginary people in his head, and they agree with him. Chuck, the imaginary people in my head agree with me too. That doesn't prove anything. That doesn't help your arguments. This is how he comes to decisions. And if he's ever got a tough decision, he invents these two people, and then he speaks to them. And then he takes their words and brings it to you. And if Joe and Eileen Bailey don't know what to do, then how could Chuck possibly know what to do? They don't comprehend. Those imaginary people in Chuck's brain don't know why people are voting for Mamdani. They don't know. They don't get it. They're like, I don't know why anybody would vote for him. And if they don't understand, Chuck sure won't. Mamdani has shown us the way forward. Primary Chuck Schumer. Primary Hakeem Jeffries. Move the party left, or else we'll keep losing. But the Dems aren't going to do that. I would be more happy if we primaried them and then they moved to the left. Bernie did that. Bernie dragged Hillary to the left. Bernie dragged Obama to the left. Bernie dragged Joe Biden to the left. They had to do the left-leaning things or else he was going to win. This is good for us. This is good for you. This is good for everyone. More leftism, please. Mamdani is telling us exactly how to win. Support left-leaning people. Support left-leaning initiatives. When the primary comes out, I've said this before, when I vote, and I do, on the primary, I vote for the person furthest to the left. Then in the general, I vote for the person furthest to the left. That's it. 2 steps. Very simple. Does that mean you sometimes have to vote for Hillary? Yes. But she's further to the left than Donald Trump was. And sometimes you have to vote for Joe Biden. He's further to the left than Trump was. Sometimes you have to vote for Kamala. She's further to the left than Trump was. He gets to run so often. So yeah, those are my big things to talk about tonight. So I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for coming. I'm going to start up a video game. Yeah. So we'll play a little game. Wait, no. Hang on. Editor Waldo, editor KBP, whoever's editing this. We've got more. But so we've seen what the Democrats have to say about this. What do the people on the right have to say about this? Oh, it's crazy. It finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zoran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary, and it's on his way to becoming mayor. We have radical lefties. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. Donnie, just say he looks like a Muslim, man. We know that's what you're thinking. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got AOC +3.
Donnie diaper dump.
Dummies all backing him, and even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in our history of our country. I have an idea for the Democrats to bring them back into play after years of being left out in the cold. Dude, they were the president last time. You lost once to a Democrat. I'd suggest you lost twice because Hillary got more votes, but the goofy system prevents us. You get fewer votes than Democrats, usually, including suffering one of the greatest losses in history, the 2024 presidential election. The Democrats should nominate low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett for president, and AOC 3 should be, respectively, vice president, and 3 high-level members of the cabinet added together with our future communist mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani, and our country is really screwed. That sounds lovely, Donnie. I'm not going to argue with him here because that sounds delightful. Dude, I would absolutely vote for Jasmine Crockett for president, 100%. I would do it today. I would campaign for her. I would come onto this screen, I would look into the camera, and I would tell you to vote for her because she's fantastic. And then AOC could be in the cabinet. God, that sounds fantastic. I want AOC to be president with Crockett as her vice president. And then when AOC runs out because she does 8 years, then Crockett can run for 8 years. That would be fantastic. Now, he calls her AOC +3 because he's a moron. He's an idiot. He barely knows what he's talking about. The AOC +3 was the, I think they were called the Justice Dems. What were they? They were the squad. It was AOC and 3 other ladies. But he doesn't have the time to write all their names down. He doesn't have time to remember them all. 2 of them are Muslim names, so he's going to spell them wrong anyway. So he just calls it AOC +3. That's easy for his very, very simple brain to remember. The 3 of them weren't involved in this New York thing. Why is he bringing them up? Just out of habit. Every time he types AOC, his phone autocorrects to +3. There's no reason for it. It's just he thinks that's their names. You literally just tried to gaslight me when the proof is right there. Okay, well, you've been gaslit your entire life, GA, and now I'm bringing you some sanity and some reality, and you're not happy with it. Tastes bad, doesn't it? Reality tastes like shit. So what are we thinking? There is some more. Who else we got? We got some of my favorite Nazis right here. Here's some of my favorite Nazis. Oh, they're too big. Can I get these on screen? Oh, shoot. Gotta shrink them down a little bit. Get some of my favorite Nazis, Matt Walsh and Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, the Nazi, said, the commentary about New York City Democrats nominating anarchist socialist for mayor omits one point, how unchecked migration fundamentally remade the New York City electorate. Democrats change politics by changing voters. That's how you turn a city that defined the U.S. dominance into what it is now. So this is white nationalism. Stephen Miller, the Nazi, is doing some white nationalism because he hates anybody who isn't white and American. He hates them. So he wants to smear them, calling them an anarchist socialist. That doesn't even make any sense. Socialists love government. They're not anarchists. That's just stupid. Socialists have the bread lines, and they have the overabundance of government that the communists have, and they have so much extra government. They have more government than anybody else. They can't be anarchists. Anarchists are anti-government. They don't want any government. They're closer to libertarians, honestly. The libertarians are closer to anarchists. Oh, sorry, boss. I get distracted. Unchecked migration has never existed in our country, fundamentally remade the New York City electorate. The people living in New York are Americans. I know Stephen Miller would hate this, but I have a very simple theory that if you live here, you're an American. If you came here incorrectly, irregularly, or illegally, I want to put you on a track to become a citizen. That's all there is to it. Very easy. And even if they came across improperly, we can just charge them a fee. Don't give them their tax refund. Problem solved. And then give them a special ID until they become citizens, and they give them the regular ID. The end. That's it. The problem goes away. But Stephen Miller doesn't like that because he's a racist, and he thinks that most of his voters and the people who support right-wing causes are white people. And then if you let non-white people into the country, they will vote against him and his ideas, which sounds fantastic because he is a bad guy. Matt Walsh, the other Nazi in the room, said, "This is correct. They tell us that the Great Replacement is a conspiracy theory, yet we can look at New York City and see it happening right in front of our eyes." If you're brown, you're not American, according to these two white nationalist dipshits. If you're not white, you're not American. And that means you don't get to vote. And we shouldn't listen to what you have to say. You shouldn't get to vote, according to these sick, disgusting white nationalist ghouls. One of them speaks to the president every day. Stephen Miller talks to the president every single day. And it's on his orders that ICE is doing what they are doing. Because he hates, just flat out hates. I've been watching him for a very long time, years now. I've been watching Stephen Miller. He hates everyone who isn't exactly the right skin tone. He's a super racist. He's a white nationalist. And he is going to destroy, maybe not completely destroy, but he is harming our country. Right now, he's harming us. We may get better and we may survive. But he is harming us now. For no good reason. For no benefit. Not in any way, shape, or form is he helping anyone in this country except himself and his feelings. I think, oh no, we got more. Here, you got all kinds of links today. A call to action from the New York Republican something, NRYYC, I don't know what that is. The radical Zoran Mondani cannot be allowed to destroy our beloved city of New York. The Communist Control Act lets President Trump revoke his citizenship and promptly deport him. Time for action is now. Stephen Miller and real Tom Holland.
Radical dude.
I know, right? Radical. New York is counting on you. They want to deport him because he won and got people to vote for him. We fully support this initiative, says the Republicans' National Convention. Communist radical Zoran Mamdani should be remigrated as soon as possible. You know who uses the word remigrated? White nationalists. That's the only people who use the word remigrated. If you ever see or hear anybody unironically using the term remigrated, they're a white nationalist. You just have to, you know it, right? It's kind of like the word female. Somebody who uses the word female a bit too angrily and strong.
LMAO deport the new NYC mayor.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. That's what they're pushing for. That's what they're saying. He didn't win the mayorship yet, but it's likely that he will win. The Dems always win. It's still a little bit up in the air because you might have Eric Adams, the criminal who was pardoned by Trump for political favors, is still running as an independent, and then Cuomo, who would be pardoned by Trump if he hadn't have resigned in disgrace. And then he'll be pardoned by Trump for political favors. Those guys might still run. Cuomo might still run as an independent. Eric Adams might still be running as an independent, plus the Republican. So nobody knows how it's going to shake out. There's a good chance that he's going to win, and I hope that he does. It would be good. Young leftist in power would be fantastic. And it would prove that it works. It would prove to the people that pushing against and primarying these Democrats will work. That makes me happy. That's exactly what I want. I want people to primary Chuck Schumer and drag him to the left. I want people to primary Nancy Pelosi. Is she still in? Maybe. And drag her to the left. I want people to primary Hakeem Jeffries and drag him to the left. This will make our country better. So if you're watching, hop in the chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. Go on over to the Discord. Right there. And you can leave links to things and we can talk about them. Or you can go on over to the YouTube page. YouTube. There's a YouTube link. And you can go on over there and watch old videos, and you can find out all the other positions I have on all the other things. And I'm going to start up a video game, and we're going to play it together, and then the robot will keep talking, and then we'll have a great time. So if you are watching, if you want to ask me a question, ask me anything about politics, and I'll probably know something about it. If not, I'll make something up. That's the fun thing about politics. You get to make it up. Even if it's something I've never heard of before, I'll have an opinion, because that's the trick, is to have a solid foundation on which to make decisions. The foundation I built it on is human freedom. That is the foundation I build upon. So if you ask me a question about a politics that I'd never thought about before, I will weigh it by, does it help humans have more freedom, less freedom? Is it harming a group of people, taking away their freedom? That would be bad, right? So even if I don't know the answer, I'll come up with one. And maybe I'll research it, or maybe I'll look into it and find out what the problem is, and we'll look into it in the future. So if you're in Twitch chat, the lovely lady robot will read your stuff out loud. If you're in YouTube chat, I'm still watching. If you're in Kick chat, who are you? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you're in Kick chat, come on, say hello. What if KBP? KBP, are you still in my house? I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. He could be. You never know. He's a sneaky guy.
KPB needs friends.
Well, he has one, but I'm busy. He knows when I stream. He was in earlier too. He was in the stream earlier. I don't like Lady Justice all that much. Yeah, she ain't got shit. We're gonna alter it. See? Much better. Rampaging attack is good. Grappling hook is really not that good. But is it? It might be. We're doing it. Yeah, editing the YouTube videos usually takes the longest, because it takes just as much time to edit a YouTube video as it does to make them. So if I do 2 hours of streaming, that takes like 2 hours of editing. Casts, strikes. Let's do strikes. And then that takes up my time, and I have to do that, or else people will never see me. YouTube is a very good device for getting your name out there. It has an algorithm that puts your stupid face, my stupid face specifically, in front of people that have never heard of me before. And then if they like what they see, they press the subscribe button. It's a whole thing. It's a scam. And YouTube is the best at that. Twitch does not get you discovered. Kick does not get you discovered. YouTube does. So I turn all these things into YouTube videos, but that requires editing and clicking the buttons and moving the dials around and getting the sound right and all that kind of crap. And it's quite miserable. So I might make KBP do all that, and then I'll stream more often, and then I'll give him I don't know, like 30% of all the money that the YouTube makes. It's $0 right now. Shh, don't tell him. It's 0. 30% of 0 is not very much. Where's someone? A deer? Nice, I got a deer. Look at me. Hello, deer.
HSWP.
The deer is just standing around killing fools. I love it. Let's just hang out with this little deer guy. Okay. Oh no, what if he dies? He's about to die. Oh no, he died. Will he come back? I hope he comes back. There he is, he's back. Hooray! So yeah, what are you guys thinking? How'd the war go? What do you think is going to happen? Are we going to keep bombing them? Are we going to stop bombing them? Are we going to pretend to bomb them? Did Donnie already win? Did we already have our mission accomplished moment? Energy missiles is pretty good. Chains are pretty good too. What are you doing over there, dear? You should be over here with me. Ass. What are you doing? Oh, he's killing shit. Okay. All right. I'm sorry that I doubted you. He's just surrounded by a bunch of XP crystals. So I'm like, okay. Gotcha. Is anything else going on, I wonder? Chains, shuriken, blue shurikens, yeah. Anything else going on? I want to watch the new Fantastic Four movie. Did you guys see the trailer for that? I do want to watch the Fantastic Four movie. I think if they do a good... I like the Fantastic Four, okay? They've got a lot going on. But it's the thing that the old movies, the 2000s is ones, made by Fox, they miss out on a lot of the characters, a lot of the character of those characters. Not specifically leaving them out, but the way that they act. I just don't think they do a good job of it. More pickups, Blast of Fate. You are luckier, sure. Mr. Fantastic. We'll just start with him. He is supposed to be a conservative dad. He's supposed to be Leave It to Beaver's dad. He's supposed to be a no-nonsense, no goofing around, anti-hippie kind of a guy. An old 1950s businessman who only does everything right and never makes a mistake. And he's very conservative. What's his superpower? He's very flexible. That's the opposite of what he normally actually is. So it's a juxtaposition for him, being super flexible while being rigid and a square. Then what else have we got? We've got the Invisible Woman. She was part of second wave feminism. She was a scientist and a doctor when that was unusual for women to do those things. She wants to be important and taken seriously, and you need to respect her. What is her superpower? She turns invisible, which is the opposite of what she wants. And invisibility only works if you shut your mouth. She doesn't like that either. So this is an inconvenient superpower for her to have. I think that's interesting. They can play that up. You can turn that into a storyline. Johnny Storm is the doubling down of his superpowers. It's not inconvenient for him to fly and shoot fire. He was already a hothead. He needs to chill out, though. He was already a stunt man kind of a thing, and he already did test flights and flew planes that no one else had ever flown before, and they might crash and he might die. He was already a daredevil. He was already a hothead. So it would be best for him if he slowed down a little bit and stopped jumping off of buildings. But his superpower is that he lights himself on fire and flings himself off a building. So it's a doubling down. So that, again, you've got a character whose superpower is feeding the worst parts of his personality. And I think that's interesting. Then Ben Grimm, the Thing, he is super strong, and he can't turn his power off. He's the only one that can't turn it off. This leads him to be self-conscious. He's a giant rock man with thin skin. The thing that bothers him the most is when you make fun of how he looks. He's got thin skin, and I think that's hilarious. That's amazing. this makes for good characters. So if you work that into the characters, if you work that into the story, it can go really well. I'm not entirely sure if they've done that with this new one. They might just be making the regular Marvel, hey, isn't this cool? Hey, look at this, isn't this cool? Hey, look at this, isn't this cool? Which is fine. I like cool stuff. So yeah, I'm watching it. I'm excited to see that they went to the past. I assumed that's where they would go with the story as well. You don't bring them into today because that would be weird. We already have a bunch of superheroes. You bring them into the past in the old-fashioned world. And I'm calling it now that the movie about 3/4 of the way through or something like that, they're going to beat Galactus, then get shot either into our dimension or forward in time to the modern MCU. Because when that happens, they will get to have a little bit of culture shock. Remember that really cool scene when Nick Fury is talking to Captain America for the first time, and they've got him in that fake room that looks like it's from the 1950s, and then he runs out and he sees Times Square and it's all weird and crazy and full of flat screen TVs and stuff, and he has a little weird moment where he doesn't quite fit in and know where he's at. That could happen to Mr. Fantastic. That would be a good story. And they need that dad energy now that Captain America's gone. They need that blast from the past.
Man out of time trope has already been done to death with Cap.
Well, and they'll do it again. It worked. It was good. It was done to death with Cap in the year 2006. That was 20 years ago. It's time to do it again. And the man out of time this time will be Reed Richards. I'm just killing this fool. He is just not standing much of a chance. And then the next thing that I'm calling is that once he gets his man out of time moment, he learns that he's been moved forward in time or something like that, and he has a weird little, he has feelings about it, but he's going to adapt. We see the end credits, all that fun stuff. End credits scene is going to be Doctor Doom. End credits scene is going to have, like, I don't know, 2 henchmen sitting in chairs looking at 100 TV screens on in front of them on a wall of TVs, and then they'll see Mr. Fantastic, and then they will argue about who has to go tell the boss that Mr. Fantastic is there, and the one that loses will go and give a little sheet of paper, a picture of Mr. Fantastic to a man sitting in a chair, and then the chair will slowly turn and you'll see a metal hand crush the picture. That's just my guess anyway. And it'll be Dr. Doom. Oh, hello, dear. Oh, laser cats. I hate laser cats. Grappling hook, shurikens. Ooh. Level up the grappling hook. Stupid laser cats.
LOL the hand Dr. Doom Inspector Gadget smiling face with open mouth and closed eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It will look like Inspector Gadget. But we'll know that it's Dr. Doom. Why am I moving so slow? What happened? Something happened? Shurikens turn purple. Yes, please. You guys been playing any good games lately? I'm about, I think, to beat Expedition 33. It's too hard, but I'm not embarrassed to tell you that the timings are way too close. I had to put it on easy mode, or easy difficulty, and then I started winning fights. But now it's way too easy. It's like they needed a middle ground. Like nothing can touch me anymore. Leaving it on regular is too hard. Leaving it on easy is too easy. They need a medium. Extra medium difficulty for Expedition 33. It's very good. I had a good time with it. I think I'm almost at the end though. GA, if you're still here, feel free to fire away any political question. Try and get me. Try and gotcha. Try and give me the gotcha. Hit me with that one question that no liberal can ever answer. Leaves a vortex or distortion of time. Your chances of being blessed by time are increased. All time blessings deal more damage. Sure. Let's fight on the deer. How about we fight on the point? There we go. That'll keep me alive. Fight on the point. Okay, I gotcha. Luck. Lose a power slot. How many power slots do I have? Grappling hook, force, and gem. Oh, I think I've already done that one. Yeah. No reason not to level it up. Okay. What was that other game I was playing? Sandland. Sandland. It's a Akira Toriyama kind of a thing. It's kind of neat. It's like baby's first open world game, but it's kind of neat. Had some tanks. Had some silly fun story. Kind of kid stuff, but it's okay to play games that aren't filled with gotcha mechanics and gigantic tittied waifus. Sometimes. It's okay to play those too. You gotta keep it diverse, you know? Movement speed, yes please. Oh no, my magical deer is on fire. Poor deer. Shivers. No. Do I show your chance of being blessed by winters increased? I don't have all that many winter things, do I? Don't think I have any winter things. We don't have the deer. We can level the deer, or we can level the deer. Let's take it. The insect queen. I have to kill all her little friends first. Let's do that. They run outside the map, so they're dicks. Now I can kill her. Oh. Get him, deer. Did I stun her? How did I stop that cast? Ouch. I'm dying over here.
You make my head feel so
Damage increased by 7%. Sounds great. I died. But I got back up. But I got better. Insect queen down. Get out of here. Oh, laser cats. I hate laser cats. I hate laser cats. Ah. It wasn't the start of laser cat. That was the end. Okay. Oh. I don't like these guys either. Pumpkin bombers, whatever they are, ghosts. They riding on magic carpets? Yeah, they're on magic carpets. Ugh. Missiles. Get him, dear. Slowly. It belongs in a museum. This ancient crocodile carcass belongs in a museum. Or gain 28 attack area. I do like that. Sorry, museum. Sorry, Indy. What's the green thing down here? Oh, it's a heart. Summon his minion to fight for you at 180 seconds. Confront his minions. Oh, let's kill his minions. Come here, jerks. Look at them. Look at all those minions. Get out of here, minions. You ain't got shit. They're going to kill me. I shouldn't have talked shit. Oh, I'm getting hit. I talk shit, now I'm getting hit. I don't know what to do. Oh, no. They could have been on my team, but I got crazy. What do we got? Expected for dash, larger area, knockbacks. Let's do that. And That's all of the minions. Ha ha ha. Fools. Good job, dear. Look at all this XP that you gathered up for me. It's very nice of you. Thanks, dear.
You mortals cross paths with death but one.
Ice shards. Attacks have a chance to throw ice shards. Frostbite or level up the deer. Shards. So now I got shurikens, shards, and magic missiles. Okay. I think I've under specialized. I think I have a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades at the moment, and that is not going to serve well. You're going to lose the next boss. Should be in about a minute and a half, maybe a little less. Oh, bug ladies. Bug ladies. Shurikens knock back a war pack. Let's level up the shurikens. Knockback, rampage, or bloodlust. Dash. Duration 4 seconds. Okay, yeah, let's do that. The Djinn. He's got a flame whip. Look out. But I've got a murder deer. A murder deer. That's a lot of fire that I don't want to be standing in. What do we name the murder deer? The murder deer. He needs a name. Oh, that was a mine. Okay. He's outside the thing. Come on. I think he's bugged out. Oh, mines. Damn it. Mines, damn it. Okay, we're getting close. Down to the wire. Get him, our dear. Nailed it. Oh, I died before I could pick up the health points. Or before I could pick up the XP. Shit. Those big purple balls are points for my skill tree. Who did the most damage? Damage. 4.1 million total. Attacks was 5,000 to 700, 800,000. 800,000 might be my highest. Rampaging attack, 800,000. Okay. Rampaging attack it was. All right. I defeated the Djinn, but I don't get the skill points. That's sad. As you go over here, and you put these points into your skill tree. But there were 2 of them laying on the ground because I stepped in the fire because I'm a loser. What do we need? We need more points invested. What did I pick? XP, hunger. Oh yeah, we're going cat form. 100% cat form, man. Not bear. Dash and power damages are increased. Control over your god offers. Huh. That one's interesting too. Strike damage. Hunger. Rabies. Your attacks have a chance to apply weakened permanently. Trample while dashing your powers, deal more damage. Maniac, your dash recharge speed is increased. So more dashing. That's good. Your base attack damage is increased when weakened enemies. Nah, I don't need weakening them. They die too fast. Why bother? There we go. Durable form. Form lasts longer. I do like that. Freedom. While in form, you can't be stunned, frozen, or immobilized or slowed. That's not bad. Eagle form. And then take flight. Dude, I can fly. I have a Night Stalker and a Prowler. Okay, so we're going to do cat form for now. Someday, we'll come back for eagle form. We're going all cats all day for now. If we ever change our minds, we'll come back and do eagle form. Is there any other forms? There's a Prowler. There's a Apex Predator. There's a thing. I think there's another. Yeah, there's a cat, a bear, and an eagle. Very exciting. Okay. That is it for there. And we are, yeah, I'm done for the night. That is about when I normally knock off. So thanks for coming. Everybody who's here, thanks for coming. Thanks for saying hi, even if you disagreed with me. I appreciate it. Come in, tell me where you think I'm wrong, and we can argue about it. It's the fun part is that we get to discuss these kinds of things. So that is it for me tonight. So I'm about done. I'm going to hop over to, if you want to tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, go on over to the Discord. You can leave links there, and I'll put them up on the screen. We can feel them all out together. It'll be interactive. It'll be a good time. Or you can go over to the YouTube page.
YouTube.
I take all of these streams and I chop them into littler bits so that the YouTube algorithm will like them. But you can watch all of the unedited, uncut, raw Waldo live streams on the live tab of the YouTube page. And so you can do that. You can watch me from years ago. I'm terrible. As much as I suck today, I sucked more then. And that is it for me tonight. I will be back on Saturday unless the Gestapo kicks in my door and drags me off to the gulag. You never know. They might. Maybe they run out of immigrants to throw into the gulags and they'll need me. I mean, there's a lot of people on the list before me, but maybe they come for me first. I don't know. You never know. If they come for you, let me know. And we'll talk about you too. That's it. All right. I'm leaving.